back to our NCAA football win total series. We continue in the Mountain West. Two teams left, and we are at Utah State. And Utah State's one of the more interesting stories. First, we got to go through some Utah State history. They were dreadful. You go back to 1961, they made the Gotham Bowl. And then after that, they didn't make a bowl game until 1993. They made another one in 1997. And finally, in 2009, they hired Gary Anderson. He goes 4-8 his first 2 years and then makes a bowl in 2011 and 2012. He leaves for Wisconsin. Matt Wells shows up, bowls in 5 of 6 years. He leaves, and Gary Anderson comes back. He goes to a bowl in 2019. 2020 starts 0-3, and they fire him. They ultimately bring in Blake Anderson. Blake Anderson's first year, 11-3. 6-7 after a bowl loss in 2022. And then in 2023, it was another 6-7 season. We go through it. They lose at Iowa to start the year before destroying Iowa State. They lose at Air Force, lose to James Madison, then they win at UConn and against Colorado State, lose against Fresno State and at San Jose State before beating San Diego State at San Diego State and Nevada, lost to Boise State, and then beat New Mexico at New Mexico. They would lose their bowl game, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, to Georgia State, and everything's looking up. Blake Anderson's going to come back for a 4th year, right? No. Blake Anderson just got fired. Well, they have an intent to fire him. He has been relieved of duties, and they have an intent to fire him due to Title IX violations. This means they're on an interim coach. Nate Dreiling is going to be the interim coach. He is the defensive coordinator as well. It's his first season with the team, and this team now is in flux. We look at the team, though, and offensively, they're not bad. They were the best offense in the Mountain West last year. Cooper Legis is off to Tulsa. Their backup, McCray Hillstad's gone. So they bring in Spencer Petras from Iowa, Bryson Barnes from Utah. Problem is, they're now coming in as transfers and have a brand new coach that wasn't supposed to be there. They still have a great receiving corps. Jalen Royals is back, 71 catches, 1,080 yards last year, 15 scores. They bring back Micah Davis, who is about 17 yards a catch. Colby Bowman's back. He's a great deep threat. Offensive line comes back. 4 starters are expected to return. Should be a solid offensive line. They do need to replace a running back. David Booth is off to Mississippi State. The defense last year was a major issue. They struggled on 3rd down, and they got roasted deep. Lots of deep passes, lots of passing yards, and the big issue was they couldn't cover. Pass rush was good, but they couldn't cover. Problem is, Paul Fitzgerald's gone. That was their top pass rusher. Blaine Spires is back. They bring back one tackle on the defensive line. They bring in a new transfer on the defensive line. They lose their top linebacker. Ike Larson is back in the defensive secondary, but he's more of a tackler and not a playmaker. They will not have a ton of playmakers on the defensive secondary, which worries me for turnovers. Overall, we look at this team, it's a team that may not be able to stop the run. The defense should be an issue, and now they have a brand new head coach. They start the season on August 31st. They play Robert Morris. They should get a win, but then it's a tough sled. At USC, Utah, at Temple before a bye, probably 3 straight losses. They have the bye September 28th, and then they go to at Boise State, another loss. And then UNLV, probably another loss. October 19th, they get New Mexico at home. They should be able to pull that off. They're at Wyoming, October 26th. That could be a toss-up. They have another bye. They're at Washington State, probably a loss. They get to host Hawaii. That's probably a win. San Diego State is November 23rd. Toss-up to loss. November 30th. At Colorado State, toss-up to win. This is going to be a tough sledding for this team. I see their ceiling at 5 wins. I think the max they're going to get is 5 wins. I don't see this as a bowl team. That's only a 1-win dip from last year. And with all the turnover, I think we can expect 2 losses more. Most lines are sitting at 5.5. You look at FanDuel, it's 5.5 at minus 158. MGM sitting at under 5.5 is minus 150. We look at DraftKings, Utah State under 5 is plus 110. So we're going to take the under 5. Yeah, we might push, but I really think this is a 3 to 4 win team. Under 5 plus 110 is the pick. If you like the content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the videos, watch the whole series. We've already gone through the Mountain West. We've gone through gone through the MAC, all but one team in the Mountain West. Next video, we'll have the last team in the Mountain West plus the Mountain West Championship picks. We move on to the Sun Belt next. Make sure to tune in for those, and we'll see you next time.